Welcome to the dance party that is Wednesday night race chat live here on Fan for Racing Radio. You can check us out on YouTube and Facebook. I know we'll have it shared from the Race Chat Live and the 110 Nation sports pages on Facebook as well. So welcome everyone for tuning in tonight. We got surprisingly after a Sonoma race, we actually have some action to unpack here. First things first, I want to welcome my co-host, Yellow Caution Flag Race Radio, Chris Creighton.
Hello, everybody. Shane Van Gisbergen.
From the 110 Nation leader, Mr. CJ Sports. And boy, Sonoma showed that there was power steering issues. Because Reddick lost it early. Ty Dillon, who was going to play the upset against Denny Hamlin once again, lost power steering towards the end and could not hold off Denny Hamlin or any of its challengers. SVG, yes, he won the race, but it was not in the typical SVG fashion that we've seen in the past. It looks like, I'm going to quote Denny Hamlin from his show, it looks like the field is starting to catch up to him. The question is going to be, is he gonna start panicking, or is he ready to fend off any and all challenges coming at him, no matter what road course or street race we are going to? But first things first, let's get into our green flag headlines. With our Shane Van Gisbergen, or Shane Hamburger, as I like to call him, or the Kiwi, steals the show this weekend. What do we got from? Obviously, he won the Cup race, but it was not in typical dominating fashion. And he took it in the O'Reilly series as well. So, and I think he actually dominated that one a little bit. Oh no, he didn't. Zilich was running him down. But outside of Zilich, he was a class of the field in the O'Reilly series for the most part. The Cup race, there was actually some parity, some variety. What do we got? Start with you, Chris. You muted yourself again.
Oh my goodness gracious! How did I do that? Why? So yeah, I mean, he was dominant, right? I mean, his name came up all weekend long. It didn't matter if you were listening to it on the radio, MRN, or you were following it on the television. You practically all you heard was Shane Van Gisbergen, Shane Van Gisbergen, Shane Van Gisbergen, Shane Van Gisbergen,
Shane the Hamburger.
And that was the show for the weekend. And it's expected. He's put together a resume at road courses and street courses now that is going to be unmatched for a very long time. That didn't you really get to catch much of the races over the weekend, but I did listen through NASCAR radio on Sirius XM Sunday. So when I tell you that every other word was Shane Van Gisbergen, just follow me tonight because, Shane Van Gisbergen. But how about you, CJ?
Chihuahua. Mr. CJ?
Yeah. I want to. Well, I will. I'll explain what took so long to unmute. You got your little screen down here, and then you got your screen up here.
There is a little volume thing.
I was trying to unmute the screen up here where we're all three at versus down here where it actually controls my mic. And I'm like, why is it not unmute? Then it clicked. So, I also, especially because of the lawn care stuff going on, I was not able to catch the race, but there was a comment made in our chat, and I want to take a second and address that since I didn't get to catch the race. And one of the members in our group talked about SVG being greatest road course driver of all time, and another one saying, I don't know if I would argue SVG possibly being at least my lifetime, the greatest road course driver. Like, there's really no flaw. If it wouldn't have been for whatever happened, Austin Hill and whoever else it was last weekend at the street course, he would have won that as well. Like, he has set the bar for road courses. I don't know if I could argue him being the greatest of all time, or at least the greatest in my lifetime. But whatever SVG has figured out, it's funny because we grew up, we had what we called road course specialists, and they would show up. They got to change that definition, because there is only one, in my view, at this point, one specialist, and that is SVG, and he's starting to catch on the other stuff. But all those other people that back in the day, and Boris said, and they were not specialists. Coming to find out, it was SVG this whole time. That's the word, specialist.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Obviously, with his background in the V8 supercars, he has admitted that there is some similarities to the V8 supercars in comparison.
There must be a lot.
Well, he said there's some differences. Like, obviously, every car has its own certain set of G forces. Every car has its own set of weight. But in terms of shifting or setup wise, there's some similarities of what the V8 car has that he's accustomed to, the style of racing that he's accustomed to. So a lot of that translated, but like I said, the different sorts of G forces, the weight, just a little different in terms of that deal. Obviously, with the V8 supercars, you have that giant wing that kind of plays into factor in terms of aerodynamics, whereas in the Cup in NASCAR, you don't have that wing. You have a spoiler that kind of plays into it.
I think we use two different words. You say accustomed to, I say is mastered. Like, I mean, if it's got a left and a right, that man is odds in favor right out the gate, no matter what. And like Chris said, every other word was SVG, or if they actually said his name, and I cannot pronounce it. But it's just crazy to watch somebody. It was crazy watching. I guess at one point it was. I don't want to say it's crazy, but crazy watching Jimmy Johnson dominate Charlotte, and SVG and what he's done to all these road courses is. I don't know if I've seen a domination of any kind of fashion form. I don't know if it's a specific track, type of track, year, whatever. I don't know if I've ever seen such a dominance in anything as I have seen SVG in these road courses and street races.
Absolutely, Mr. CJ Sports. I'm so glad that you said that, because, I mean, we got to give credit where credit is due, right? We've had guys come in and say that they were road course specialists. Ringers were their names. And
that's what it was.
Jacques Villeneuve to, what was it, Felipe? What was his name? Anyway.
We had Pablo, Marcos Ambrose.
Yeah, plenty. Just
Jensen
to name
Button.
Ron Fellows, Boris said,
Boris said, I forgot about it.
Never have we seen the dominance that we are witnessing right now through Shane Van Gisbergen. Shane Van Gisbergen has something that is, a talent that we've not ever seen. And you put his talent with what he's able to do compared to what NASCAR drivers do constantly, right? And you have to say that he's like the Kyle Busch of road course racing. He's the Richard Petty. And I mean, I don't want to take it away from him. I don't. Like, he's proved it now. And we'll have a stat of the day later on that just opens the door that says, look, you tell me who else has come in and run like this guy. Kevin Magnuson come in, right? And yeah, he ran good and he had the fastest lap of the race, but he didn't win it. He didn't lead. He didn't dominate.
It was like when we were growing up and we was always looking for the cheat codes to win games. Like, Super Contra had the up, up, down, down, left, right. It's like he's got the cheat codes. So all these road courses, like,
Right.
most of the times, I must say all the times, most of the times that he has not won, it was not even his doing. It had to do with someone else's wreck or somebody else's mistake or something else. It's like he's got the cheat code and knows where to be, how to run. Like, it is so insane. And the reason I was laughing because I did the stupid damn mute thing. Only time I've ever done it. Now I've done it twice in the same show. But it's like all I can think about when you're talking about that is like he's got the cheat codes. Like the old day where you had the Nintendo Power magazine and it had cheat codes in it. Like, it's like he's got the cheat codes. So all the road courses and street races.
Yeah, this ain't about NASCAR no more. This ain't about street course and road course no more. I want a bounty. I want a bounty, and anybody that thinks that they can come in and unseat Shane Van Gisbergen, give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby. Shane Van Gisbergen.
Ready fly for a white guy.
Shane Van Gisbergen.
Feel like we're gonna witness another Joey Logano leading every lap of the All-Star race, and much more to come later.
I would never skip back to that level, Shane Van Gisbergen. Never at all, Shane Van Gisbergen. Back to you, Taz. Shane Van Gisbergen. But you know who they had to beat this weekend?
Shane Van Gisbergen.
Shane Van Gisbergen. Give me the guy. Give me the guy. Give me the guy.
There was two of them. No, there was two drivers in the Cup race that were actually competing with him. Briscoe at the end. I know Ty Gibbs was during the beginning portions of the race. He swept both stages. I know Connor.
What, did SVG take pit stops and let them have the lead for a little bit? Is that what happened there?
That dude was sitting on the sidelines eating ice cream.
All I can see is Days and Thunder right now. We're eating some ice cream.
Shane Van Gisbergen.
Yes, we had the same thought.
Look, may I add this to it? This is NASCAR's perfect time to we have 1 year to put together a bounty for Shane Van Gisbergen at a road course or street course. Let's get a bounty on this guy. Let's put $1 million for somebody to beat him. Somebody to beat him at one of these tracks. Hell, let's throw $2 million in if you're not already in NASCAR. Let's drive up the price. Let's give a reason, because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen here, guys. We're going to quit watching. You know why? Because that's what happens. You just quit watching. You just get tired of it. You're like, okay, well, we know who's going to win. And though he's not undefeated entirely, he's still, he's Shane Van Gisbergen.
Damn close enough. Like I said, the only reason he's not undefeated, like I said, most of the time it's not even been his doing. People have plowed him over or wrecked in his way.
I think if I remember right, the second ever Chicago street race, I think he had like an engine failure or something happened where he smacked the wall and it and of course with these next gen cars, when you smack the wall hard enough, you break a toe link. And when you break a toe link, you're done. And then when it comes to, and then Coda, that's the one track that he has not figured out. I know for a fact he has not won at that track. But well, I think Denny Hamlin said it best on this podcast. There's times where people or drivers are starting to catch on to him. Obviously, when he's got fresh tires and is ready to go, he's an animal unleashed. But I know towards the end of the race, he was losing tires and everything, and I know Briscoe was kind of pushing it to get to him. But Briscoe was no slouch. He did not let SVG run away. He was actually catching him. And of course, one thing I want to point out quick. SVG in the Cup race, however, in his qualifying efforts, was not the fastest car. He started 6th. I'm trying to see who the pole sitter is. Pole sitter, I believe. Oh, pole sitter was Ty Gibbs. Them cheating Yoders, you know. Ty Gibbs started on the pole. Stage 1 and stage 2. Led 31 laps. Unfortunately, he, along with SVG, they were the only 2 in the Cup race that led double-digit laps. SVG led 74, Ty Gibbs 31. Then Larson had 2, Blaney, Byron, and Chastain had 1 apiece. And then if you go into the O'Reilly series, well, SVG led all of the laps except for, let me see here, 9, 11, 12, 13. So in the O'Reilly race, he pulled Martin Truex, practically a Martin Truex, what is it, 2016 Charlotte or whatever?
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that a question?
Yeah, I want to say it was like 2016. I know in the O'Reilly race, SVG, just based upon the laps led, he led all but 13. That kind of reminds me of like the dominance in that race of like Martin Truex I think it was like 2016 Charlotte or something like that.
Right.
Where he led all but like 4 or something like that. But I mean, granted, I would like to see a bounty too, but I think the problem with bounties is you're going to have drivers drive like morons and start wrecking them.
Wait, didn't we see that at the street course? I mean, you know, everybody tried to say I was wrong that Austin Hill didn't cause the wreck. It was SVG. So I don't know. I mean, I think that's kind of what Austin Hill was doing at the San Diego Coronado course. He was pushing way too damn hard and wound up with a massive wreck because, I mean, if you can't get out in front of him, you're not going to beat him.
Austin Hill as Austin Hill and Zilich were side by side on the restart. SVG forced a 3 wide that did not need to happen because he backed off out of it. And then, of course, he tagged Austin Hill, and when Austin Hill got tagged from his rear bumper,
Austin Hill got in his way.
Austin Hill ran out of talent as soon as he got tagged.
Austin Hill got in his way. That's all that was.
But anyways, Viking Motorsports capitalizes.
Hold on. We're not finished talking about Shane Van Gisbergen. The whole damn show is about Shane Van Gisbergen. As a matter of fact, we're going to say Shane Van Gisbergen so many damn times that we needed a counter up there. I seen we're missharing, so we needed a counter up there. But look, I got something to show you guys. All right, and I didn't send it to you by screenshot or nothing. I'm just going to read it to you.
Oh, Jesus.
Shane Van Gisbergen. Don't forget the name.
Who?
He's got Shane Van Gisbergen. All right, and Mr. CJ Sports is going to have to say it before the night's over. He's going to say his name. He's going to say his name. All right.
How do you say it again?
Shane Van Gisbergen. All right, not Shane Van
Gisbergen.
All right. Did you know that Shane Van Gisbergen has just as many wins in the Cup Series as Alex Bowman?
Get out of here.
Shane Van Gisbergen has as many wins in the Cup Series as Kyle Petty.
Dang.
Huh?
Well,
damn, Kyle Petty had that many wins? Damn.
Yeah.
I knew Kyle Petty wasn't that much of a success.
Shane Van Gisbergen has more wins than AJ Foyt.
What?
Shane Van Gisbergen has more wins than Jamie McMurray.
Not surprising.
Now AJ Foyt in the NASCAR series, or we're talking all the racing?
Yeah, just in NASCAR Cup Series.
I don't know how many he won over in Indy, but I would assume he won a lot. So
Shane Van Gisbergen has more wins than Ross Chastain with 6.
Get what the?
Shane Van Gisbergen has more wins Then Chris Buescher, tied at 6.
Uh,
Shane Van Gisbergen has more wins than Austin Dillon, the Rhinestone Cowboy, with 6.
well, I mean, Austin Dillon.
Chase Briscoe has
sucks
5
anyway.
wins. Alan Kowicki, who is in the Hall of Fame, has 5 wins. Dave Marcus, in the entire 45-year career that he only had 5 wins in his entire career. Shane Van Gisbergen has more wins than Ricky Stenhouse, who's currently active with 4 wins. Ava J. Allmendinger with 3 wins. And we'll add non-active Michael Waltrip with 4 wins. I think that's maybe the first time Michael Waltrip's ever been mentioned in our show. Austin Cindric has 3 wins.
I don't know. We might have brought up the jet fuel thing once or twice.
Okay. Daniel Suarez with 3 wins. Bubba Wallace with 3 wins. And Michael McDowell sits currently with 2. Now, that's active drivers that with wins. Just above Shane Van Gisbergen in that list at, I believe, 9 races. Nope, there's none that are active. But Clint Boyer had 10 total race wins. Tim Richmond had 11. No, 13.
Damn. I didn't know Clint Boyer won that many.
Right. Neither did I. And Tyler Reddick has 13 career wins. So just put in perspective.
Half of them are this year, though, ain't they?
Right. 5 more wins could put Shane Van Gisbergen as equal to Tyler Reddick. And believe it or not, Christopher Bell only has 13 career wins in the Cup Series. So I don't know. All I can say is Shane Van Gisbergen.
Who?
Shane Van Gisbergen. SVG.
Again,
If you
who?
have a hard time saying it. SVG.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Shane Van Gisbergen. Not Lane Van Gigglebergen or
Lane Van Rigsbergen.
Rigsbergen. That's the quote of the year. I don't give a damn. Sell it to him. Made it. Hi, everyone. Hey, Miss Lee. We're just talking about Shane Van Gisbergen.
Sorry, I like Lane Van Rigsbergen.
Lane Van Gigglebergen. Oh, my gosh. I can't even say it. Oh, Lord.
I like Rain. I like Rain better.
So, yeah, I mean, look. The guy's not necessarily setting poles, but he is the fastest when he gets out there on the racetrack. And as I said before, it's time to ante up.
Why do you think that is? That he's not necessarily getting the poles, but he is by far like
to not overdrive it.
A miss in the qualifying speed or qualifying setup, which I don't know how that translates.
Honestly, I think that he just doesn't want to have to overdo it and come from the rear. Honestly, I think in our balls to the wall type of qualifying where it's it's 1 lap and you're laying it out on the line, he's ultra conservative in that lap to not overdo the car because it could be detrimental. Look, it's all ego.
Let's say they run the qualifying tires. They run that to start with the race, right?
Yes,
That's
they do.
that's how they do it now because
Right.
you
That
can't
is
get
true.
freshy.
Right. So, yeah, I'm sure a lot of that has to do with it. He's toying with these guys. I know Connor Zilich, which he needed a good run. I think he got a top 10 finish this past weekend.
Career
in the Cup
day
Series.
for Connor Zilich.
Yeah, way to go. We didn't even put him on the list because we talked so much about him. But, let's put the good out there for him.
Took him long enough.
We were going to mention him just later on the show. And then I think a second place finish at the Saturday race. So Zilich was right there. But as I said, I think Shane Van Gisbergen is kind of toying with everybody. He knows that there's really not a match for him. And unfortunate that he didn't win the Coronado because boneheaded moves and people who are just don't belong up front, I guess. I don't know. A lot of people argue with me over that one, but I said it and I'll stand with it. Austin Hill was not ready to be up front, and he proved that real quick. But so anyway, yeah, let's talk about Viking, Taz, as we try to move on from Shane Van Gisbergen. It's going to be hard to not talk about Shane Van Gisbergen. I promise you.
I don't know. I'm still hung up on Lane Van Rigsbergen.
Lane Van Shane Van Giggleberger. And how about them calling the rugby ball a soccer ball? How many times did the rugby ball get called a soccer ball?
What's Vikings' number? I thought they were 99, or did they?
Yeah, so that's Parker Retzlaff, and I think Anthony Alfredo raced the other car.
Yeah, I see Anthony Alfredo. Is that the Viking car?
Yes, and it come out on the door bumper clear that Colleague Racing actually sold them these 2 cars that ran so well at Sonoma. So they were rebadged colleague cars from last year. And we know how good colleague cars were up until their exit out of the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. But, obviously a lot of eyes are on Parker Retzloff right now. And he has a very complicated last name as well. I've heard it said so many different ways. But, somebody I think on one of these shows actually said something, and it may have been Miss Sharon earlier in the year that, like, what this kid looks like he's really gained something. And so automatically my attention's been on him ever since. And he has. He's running with the big boys. And, a couple of crashes and whatnot. He didn't get some finishes that he probably should have. But when we're looking for the next great talent to maybe put in Junior Motorsports or even over at Joe Gibbs Racing, or maybe even filling a seat at Richard Childress Racing, where the number 2 seat is going to be open next year, Parker may be a guy to look into. And obviously they had fast race cars. They do a lot with less. And kudos to a team that nobody knows about, to be able to come into the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series and be competitive.
Yeah, I know they were there last year with Matt DiBurrito, as I like to call him.
Matt doesn't have a ride anymore, Dan Benedetto.
Yeah. I mean, the tough part about the Benedetto or DiBurrito is maybe he should link up with Taco Bell. He might get somewhere.
Yo quiero Taco Bell. Yo quiero Taco Bell. Shane Van Gisbergen. You're looking at the last bad guy you'll ever see. Shane Van Gisbergen. He's the last guy. The last bad guy you'll ever know. Yeah, it's little Tony Van Gisbergen, Montana.
Wait, we're talking about Lane Van Gisbergen, right?
Yeah, I mean it's really not much.
Hey, don't forget. We got Joey Logano led every lap of that All-Star race for years.
Oh yeah,
much more to come later on.
We're gonna get to it here in just a
Back to you, Chris.
Sharon. No, we're not going to call on her tonight. She's under the weather. She says she has worn her voice out, so we'll send you down the road of something else here in a little bit. I am trying to piece together the stat of the day, but let's see. Oh, well, wait a minute.
Whoa,
not yet. No, not yet. All right.
Wait, we gotta keep going. Christopher Bell.
Yeah.
Good. Congratulations. You rebounded after sitting out San Diego. Rebounded, I think, for, what was it, top 10? No. Yes. I don't know. Yes. Top 5. Sorry. I discredited him. I said top 10. He finished 5th after starting 14th. I figured he would qualify decently, but in terms of the race, I was optimistic in the sense of, I know Sonoma is more of a racetrack versus like what San Diego is, with all the bumps and inclines and every other variable possible. But I'm glad that he did. I know he had every intention to run that whole race regardless, but I'm glad that he ended up finishing and did himself a solid of finishing in the top 5. Plus, I think he was second in both stages too, if I remember correctly, because I know he scored a massive amount of stage points, and he went from, I think, 12th heading into Sonoma in the points to 10th. So obviously whatever he did this past week to strengthen his wrists and whatever is obviously helping. So maybe he should keep going with that, and maybe he'll be back to full blown 100% within the coming weeks as we head into Chicagoland this upcoming weekend. Again, as I mentioned earlier, Chase Briscoe, the brisket boy, or Brisk Iced Tea, if you want to refer to him as, gets a runner-up finish for second year in a row. He finished second to SVG last year, except last year he was behind by like 10 plus seconds to SVG, whereas this year he actually ran him down. Just ran out of laps and couldn't get the room he needed. It looked like, and I remember Dale Jr. saying it looked like Briscoe had the advantage in, I don't remember if it was the corner braking or if it was like corner entry or something. I don't know what you guys think of that, because I know both of them were running out of tire, but I know Briscoe was, and I know Junior caught it, and which made me go back to watch. I caught the highlights of it. It made me go back to watch some of it. Yeah, but Briscoe was catching the corner speed. Wasn't sure if it was so much of the corner braking or just SVG just outright sucked in the corners, and Briscoe was just taking advantage of it. But yeah, I know Briscoe full blown sent it into the turn 11 hairpin, and he couldn't get to the bumper. I knew what Briscoe was trying to do a bumper run.
I mean, look, I didn't watch it. I admit it. I did not watch the race. So there's a lot of that commentary and stuff that I missed. I know it's great that Christopher Bell rebounded, because obviously putting Rick Cruz in the car at the Coronado race was not a very wise move, being that he had never dealt with sequential shifting and stuff before. It was a risk, and it failed miserably, and Christopher Bell was tattooed with the last place finish for that event. So for him to bounce back and grab that top five, it's every point right now matters as we are closing down the regular race season, right? I mean, we're not far away. What race number was this, Taz? It was like 16?
We are 18, I believe now.
18. So we're 8 to go.
Let me look at my rankings graphics. Yeah. Yes, we're after 18 races. Wow. So yeah.
8 to go. So the race is on. The race to the chase is on.
Race is on, and here comes Brian in the backstretch.
I'm telling you, heartache going to the inside, and there's going to be a lot of heartaches going to the inside, right? And there's a tight little race between 12th and 20th, right? And so there's still some guys that are in it. As much ground as we've seen Denny Hamlin make on Tyler Reddick, you can only imagine what could happen if one of these guys that are capable of winning were to just go out and find a tear to go out on. And those names like Joey Logano or Chris Buescher or Keselowski, even if we see multiple wins from any of these guys, we would see them catapult the standings based on how it is now. Chase Briscoe, this is his second year in a row running runner-up. I think second year in a row running runner-up to Shane Van Gisbergen. I'm not sure if Shane was toying with Chase and just backing it off. I do know that it has been reported that when Shane Van Gisbergen has been asked to kind of back it down a little bit, he's come back that he can't do that, because if he does, he's putting himself at risk of doing something in the car that he wouldn't typically do. So I do think that there comes a point in time when you're really good at your job and you figure out how to just kind of play with it, right? And how to fake it till you make it, right? And so I think that's kind of where I'm waiting for CJ Sports to go burp and bubbles just come up. It looked like he was maybe drinking an adult beverage there, but share it, man. Come on. Look, Chase, you had a good run, and these Yoders, these dead gum Yoders, they're making Hendrick look pitiful right now. Like, we come into the season expecting another dominant year by Hendrick Motorsports, but right now, Chase Elliott's the guy who leads Hendrick Motorsports with 2 wins, and I don't think that has William Byron. William Byron's not won this season, right? Did he win one? No, he hasn't won. William Byron.
He's not won
Spire
this year.
Spire has as many wins as Hendrick Motorsports right
Byron
now.
hasn't won yet.
No, he hasn't. Neither is Alex Bowman, and neither is Kyle Larson. So, as Miss Sharon just pointed out,
Well, I mean,
Spire has as many wins this season as Hendrick Motorsports with 2 apiece.
Congratulations, Spire. You're Hendrick's number 2.
Yeah.
I can't say the word, and you're making Hendrick your Spire's dog walking.
Woohoo! Way to go, Spire. Look, I'd much rather pull for Spire than Hendrick. I mean, who would?
Like, that's a little. The sad part is that they're working as an alliance.
Right. And we remember that year where Tony Stewart was racing, a Hendrick Chevrolet through Stewart Haas Racing, and I was having a better year, I think, than Hendrick too. So it's not out of the ordinary. Of course, Martin Truex Jr. did it with Furniture Row Racing, outran Joe Gibbs and all of his equipment that year that he was so dominant, won a championship. It's just what I'm not ready to hit the panic button. I'm not a Hendrick fan, so you won't see me hit that button at all. But I think there are people panicking over there right about now because, as we just said, I think 18, like we said, 18 races in the season. Hendrick Motorsports has 2 wins. And William Byron, I think, is 12th in standings right now. Kyle Larson somewhere like 6th or something like that. So it's definitely been an off year for that bow tie team.
Oh, definitely for sure. Spire. I will get to the rankings when we get there, but there's been a shakeup in the top 5 outside of Joe Gibbs. I'll just put it that way. Right. There's been quite the shakeup in the top 5 this week, and I think some of it you may be surprised by, some of it you won't be, but
looking forward to it. I think there's 2 more.
You also wrote down feud of the week.
Yeah, first let's get to the points leader.
Yeah,
right?
We got new points leader, Denny Hamster. Holy crap!
Right? Wasn't the deficit like 150 plus points or something at one point in time?
I think it was before San Diego. He was like, what was it, like 30 or 40 points out, and somehow made that up on road courses that he sucks at.
Right? Maybe Denny's year. Shane Van Gisbergen.
I'm Lane Van Rigsbergen. Oh, no, I can't change my nickname. I gotta
Mr. CJ Van Gisbergen Sports.
Well, yes, I can.
You hanging in there?
Hold on. I got this, Chris. We got this.
We need to start breeding a cute little Carol to
there we go.
To our co-host over there.
Can you read my name now?
Oh, Lane Van Rigsbergen. There you go. All right. How did you do that? Let's do that. Come on, I want to do that. What would my name be? Shane Van Gisbergen. Shane Van Gisbergen. That's right. So yeah, what do you think, Mr. CJ Sports, about the new points leader? And
is this his year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, is this Denny Hamlin's year? Is this turning out to be a better point season than he expected? Did you do it again,
Mr. CJ?
Oh my!
He's laughing. Oh, yep, he did the mute thing again.
Oh my!
I don't know what it is. I have never done this before. Now all of a sudden 3 times. Like, I don't know. For some reason, it's not in my DNA to want him to win the championship. I don't know why. Like, and he's done all the things right. He has a cool podcast. He showed his tribute in his regards for Kyle Busch. Like, he has done everything right. And I just, for some reason, I don't want to ever see him win a championship. I don't know. So I'm not trying to be biased in my answer. I mean, there's a really good shot. I mean, he's good.
Oh, stop it. You are being biased, you son of a gun.
I mean, this could be his year. I don't want to be biased about it. So I'm trying not to say no, there's no way. But I mean, it's hard to argue the year he's had. It's hard to argue the last handful of years he's had. Like, it's he's been one of the best drivers in NASCAR, period, for a good minute now. And I mean, either all the stars are going to line and he's going to finally get it, or something's going to happen, something out of his control. I mean, even winning all the races at the beginning of the year and how he's handled everything, like I applaud him. Like he has done, there's nothing he has done wrong. I just have no desire to see him as a champion. I don't know why, but this could be it. If it ain't, it's something that'll happen out of his control. Somebody will take him out of the last race. Somebody will whatever to cause him to lose. It'll be out of his control.
Well, now that the regular season championship is in his hands, and let's look at the final races of the regular season here. We have Chicagoland, which is a 1.5 mile track. Hamlin has ran pretty well at 1.5 mile tracks, especially as of late. Obviously, with wins at Michigan and Nashville Super Speedway, just to name a couple there. So he's got good hands in there. Next is Atlanta, which Atlanta for some reason is Hamlin's kryptonite. He does well in Super Speedway style races. Cole Van Gisbergen. Oh, I just caught that. Anyway, Atlanta. Hamlin is just not fantastic at Atlanta in terms of the type of racing that the track gives now. North Wilkesboro, he's a short track racer, but
all the things,
but it's not a Bristol or a Martinsville.
All the
I don't know if
things,
it's going to be him.
all the things say that he probably should win it, but if he doesn't, I think it'll be something out of his control. Like
there is 2 tracks I have concern for Hamlin. If you throw in North Wilkesboro, actually there's Atlanta I'm concerned about for him. North Wilkesboro a little bit because I don't fully know how well he runs there. He's yet to win the Brickyard, and we're coming up to that in a few weeks. And then the other one, of course, is Daytona, which Hamlin's going to try to hope he can lock up the regular season championship by then, so that way he doesn't go into Daytona night race and hope to God somebody doesn't wreck him on lap 2 of the stinking race and cost him the points championship for the regular season to give him a 15-point boost to start the chase or something like that. And then I think for the most part, the chase kind of falls into his playhouse. So, I mean, I think Mr. CJ, you said it best. This is kind of, in a sense, this is outside the rest of the regular season. The last 10 races is kind of a championship in his control. And unfortunately, with the points racing, it's not like the win and you're in, where you mess up one race and you're screwed and hope to God you have a win to fall back on. Like, this is points racing. If you don't get every point that matters, well, you just shot yourself in the foot.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely a different format, and I think we're seeing it right now. Whether or not it's beneficial at the end, it's been a 2-car breakaway all season long, basically between Tyler Reddick and Denny Hamlin. And in Denny's situation, what do you do? I don't even want to think about that. What you would do going down to the last race of the season, being a car owner and a driver at the same time, knowing you've never won a championship. I'd wreck my mama, so I don't really know. But Cole Van Trickelbergen. All right. So
Cole Van Dingleberry.
let's talk about the feud of the week. That's something new.
Yeah.
I think every
what's
week
this one? I might be lost on this one.
Yeah, every week I feel like we're going to bring a feud of the week, right? Because it seems like every week somebody's pissed off at somebody else. But this one kind of stems over from the Coronado. I don't know if you guys have kind of been paying attention to the rivalry between Corey Haim and Carson Hocevar. Wayne Van Boogerbergen. Hey, you got to put Boogerbergen. You got to put Boogerbergen. You cannot do that. It's got to be Boogerbergen. I mean, Wayne Van Boogerbergen.
Yeah. Hold on, Chris. Before you go any further, everybody, welcome to the almost second hour of Race Chat Live here on Fan for Racing Radio. I'm Lane Van Rigsbergen, joined by my co-hosts Cole Van Trickelbergen and Wade Van Boogerberger. Welcome aboard, everybody.
Oh, bro,
It's time for Sharon to come on and do her bit.
No, she's not gonna.
She's under the weather tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's not. But the feud of the week, obviously, it's a good one. Keep your eye, Carson Hocevar, Corey Haim. Corey Haim acts like he kind of doesn't like Carson Hocevar very much. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in the future.
Tell Corey to ride the Dente and get over it.
Right? I swear, man. Like, and I'll be honest with you. I made a comment that the interview, he kind of sounded sassy and reminded me of, a little sassy going on with him. It kind of reminded me of Russ Wheeler when he was interviewed about Cole Trickle coming back. And he said, well, this, that, and the other, but it won't really matter much because he'll be, he'll be seeing my tailpiece the whole race. So honestly, I have a feeling that that's a rivalry that we are just now kind of getting a piece of. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going to lie. I love a good rivalry. But it definitely looks like these two guys are going to be at each other for quite a while. And NASCAR needs it. So back to you, Lane Van Rigsbergen.
Well, Cole,
I knew you guys were going to fall into this. I knew y'all were going to do it. And y'all are, you know what? This is just, yep. This is it.
All right. Cole Van Trickelbergen. Thanks for that report. We're going to go over back to you as we get ready for our wonderful jingle of
Stat of the Day. It's the stat of the day. Stat of the day. Here comes that what? Stat of the day. Bop, 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 bop.
yes,
Bop.
nailed it.
You nailed it. And believe it or not,
I got the right mute button this time.
All right, Wayne Van Bigglebergen. You calm down up there, Boogerbergen. You just calm the hell down. Because this is about our daddy, Shane Van Gisbergen. Shayna Van Gisbergen. Do we need to pronounce it Daddy Van Gisbergen? Okay. Who's your daddy? Shane Van Gisbergen earned his 8th road course victory, tying Tony Stewart for the second most in Cup history. SVG is the quickest driver to win 8 races in 68 starts since Stewart did it in 62 starts. Stat of the day. Stat of the day. Here comes that what? Stat of the day.
So let me get this right. So you're saying SVG, who everybody just says can only do road courses, has won 8 races quicker than everybody but Tony Stewart, like won 8 races, period? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, he won 8 races quicker than anybody.
Outside of Tony Stewart.
Outside of Tony Stewart. That includes Davey Allison.
But that's all he could do is road courses. But
that even includes Jimmy Johnson, who we know was out of the box winning races. Won 3 races his first year.
That's a crazy ass stat.
That is a wild ass stat. That is why
tomatoes. You call what you want. I call what I want. That's just...
Hey, as long as you start with Daddy Van Gisbergen, I guess it don't matter.
Daddy Van Gisbergen. That's a crazy ass stat.
Daddy Van Grillenbergen.
All right, so let's talk about the sponsors. Not the sponsors. The upcoming shows.
We got. So I know. Let's see how well I can remember this. So okay. First things first. Miss Sharon posted out a. Hold on. Let me call this right before I mess that up. NASCAR bits and pieces. That she put out, I believe, yesterday. So head on over to check that out. They here on Fan for Racing Radio YouTube channel, they start out with Monday night Hot Topic Sound Off where Sharon, usually Jay's on there, but I don't know if I didn't catch the show this past Monday, so I don't know if he came back or not. But Sharon and her co-host, and Reed, who's new to the crew as well, they talk about the racing weekend in terms of Cup, ARCA, Trucks, O'Reilly Series. Pretty much if they raced it that weekend, they talk about it on Monday nights. And then Tuesdays is their interview days. Sharon, were there any interviews lined up this week by any chance? I don't remember seeing one. And then, of course, Tuesday also bits and pieces, as I just mentioned, so go check that out. Wednesday night, it's our time to shine. Oh wait, Sal interviewed Jess Brown, owner of Tri-City Raceway, this past Tuesday. So go check that interview out. Wednesday, our time to shine. It's Race Chat Live, baby, with Lane Van Rigsbergen. You got Wayne Van Boogerbergen and Cole
Van Tricklebergen.
So you got Wednesday night with us.
Wipe on, wipe off. Wipe on, wipe off. Cole Van Tricklebergen.
Wax on, wax off. At the car wash, yeah. Anyway, so you got us on Wednesday nights for Race Chat Live. Then, of course, the previews with Sharon, Jay, and Reed. They cover those on Thursdays and try to post them out either Thursday or Friday before the racing happens. And then, of course, Friday is the NASCAR Cup Series Fantasy Report. That's usually between me and Sharon, but Reed has also joined on. But for this week, it'll be just Reed and Sharon, as I'll be unavailable. But anyway, and then of course after the race weekend, we start back all over on Monday nights. So yeah, hopefully I kind of nailed that one. That's your what are we talking about? Oh, upcoming shows on Fan for Racing, your weekly playlist. As we now, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta find my doohickey here. All right, we are now getting ready to go under the hood. What is all this, guys? What is all this?
Well, what is all that? What is that? Shane Van Gisbergen. Is that a little Shane Van Gisbergen right there? No, that's a Lane Van Rigsbergen. My bad.
Yeah, that's a Lane Van Riggs. That's Lane Van Rigsbergen's motor right there. From San Diego. All right. We talk about controversy and deep dive discussion into some of the hot topics from this past week. First things first, we talk about the NASCAR In-Season Bracket Challenge. First things first, we got to talk about the Taz's In-Season Challenge Tournament. We know some things went down. And of course, and some updates on that. Let me pull up my little... So, in the Taz's In-Season Tournament, we had Larson taking on Bell. It was a one-spot difference of Larson moving on. William Byron lost out on Michael McDowell in a 16 versus 17 matchup by 3 spots. John Hunter Nemechek upset. Oh, if you look at seeding-wise, it's an upset, but I don't think it's so much of an upset when it comes to road course racing. Nemechek losing out to Alex Bowman. Daniel Suarez had some issues as well in Sonoma, shockingly, because he was one of the more favored drivers for this weekend. Loses out to Zane Smith, and then so that's one part of the bracket. The other part of the bracket, Bubba Wallace beats out Josh Berry by 6 spots. Carson Hocevar hurt the Hurricane, riding the Dente. Beats out Tyler Reddick, who had power steering issues. So Hocevar handed a gift at Sonoma. AJ Allmendinger, as expected, beat out Todd Gilliland, although Allmendinger's result probably was not what he wanted for his 500th start. Ryan Blaney against Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Blaney coming out with a 6th place run. Again, somehow out of nowhere has become a road course contender. Not saying winning speed, but he's been a contender. And then Hamlin lucked out with his kryptonite of Ty Dillon. Ty Dillon, for a majority of that race, was out in front of Hamlin. It looked like Hamlin was going to get busted out early again for the tournament, which I do believe, I want to double check this. Yep, everybody, which apparently everybody was thinking of the same thing of Denny Hamlin. I was the only one that took Ty Dillon, so I felt the bravest one out of the bunch that entered the Taz's in-season tournament deal. So Denny Hamlin beat out Ty Dillon with a gift from God on that one. Ty Gibbs beats out Chase Elliott in the tournament. So Gibbs, and then Riley Herbst lost out to Cole Custer, who would have saw that coming. Ross Chastain beat out Austin Hill. And then Chris Buescher beats out Austin Dillon, the Rhinestone Cowboy. Austin Cindric beats out Joey Logano. Chase Briscoe beats out Ryan Preece. Both drivers had top 10 finishes, but Briscoe was the runner-up, Preece finishing 8th. Eric Jones beats out Cody Ware, or should I say Cody who? Which leads us to the standings for the Taz's In-Season Tournament Challenge. Sharon and Reed currently tied at 130 points, and then tied for third is a 3-way tie with Chris, Lee, and then of course one of our chat people coming up here, or one of our chat people, Hunter. He's not in the chat tonight. Hunter Blaze, I believe, is his name, or something like that. Chris, Lee, and Hunter have 100 points each. I bring up the bottom of the basement with 90. To give an update on how everybody's brackets are looking, for me, I have one driver, or I have 2 drivers left in my Fast Four, or Final Four, with one of them still standing to make the championship. Chris has 3 of his Final Four still standing, and both of his championship drivers still in the hunt. Miss Lee has 3 of her Final Four still standing, but only has 1 out of her 2 for the final, sitting alone right now. Unfortunately for Hunter, he has 2 Final Four picks still standing, but for the most part, his bracket's like totally toasted, unfortunately. And then Miss Sharon, I just saw it, has 3 of her Final Four standing, but only 1 of her, 1 out of 2 of her championship contenders are still in the hunt. As it stands now, they're out of these, and then Reed, believe it or not, Reed is the only one with all 4 Final Four selections still in the hunt. So
Lee's been killing it this year.
No, not Miss Lee. It's Reed.
Reed.
Yeah,
My
Reed,
bad.
who's
Wow.
been joining the Sharon on the Monday night shows and the previews and the Friday fantasy reports. So Reed right now is looking like he could be the threat for the Taz's In-Season Tournament Challenge. Unfortunately for Sharon and Hunter, they're the only 2 that picked a driver to win the tournament that has been eliminated. Hunter picked Daniel Suarez. He's been eliminated. And Sharon had Tyler Reddick, who's been eliminated. But yeah, still plenty of racing left to go. But to highlight quick of the I wish I had the graphic of the updated Taz's In-Season Tournament bracket. But in terms of what we're looking at in the Taz's In-Season Tournament Challenge, for the Super 16, Kyle Larson will face off against Michael McDowell. Who do you guys believe could be the fact winning that matchup going into Chicagoland? I say Larson.
Wayne Van Boogerbergen. Van
Larson or
Boogerbergen.
McDowell at Chicagoland?
Van Boogerbergen.
He's not hitting
He
the mute
said
button.
Larson.
There he goes.
He said Larson.
He gotta wake up.
I think he's
all right.
there.
So we got a 24 versus 25 matchup of Alex Bowman versus Zane Smith. Who are we taking at Chicagoland here? I want to say, some tells me Zane Smith, but I'm going to go for my driver, Bowman.
Yeah, I think Zane Smith's got a really good chance.
All right, there's a 1-1. CJ's the tiebreaker. Is he going Bowman or Zane Smith?
I couldn't.
Let's say Bowman.
Bowman.
Oh, there he goes. I can hear him. All right. We got Bubba Wallace against Carson Hocevar.
Ooh.
Hey, there's the updated bracket.
Hocevar!
Yeah, I'm going to Hurricane. I like Hurricane over Hubba Bubba any day. Sharon, is there a way to blow that up any? Hey, here we go. Look at this. All right. Look at Sharon go. Awesome job. Hats off to you.
Woo-hoo.
Go, Sharon. Go, Sharon. Go.
Wait. We got to find a Sharon Van. I mean, wait a minute. We got to rename. Sharon. Wait, she's got Sharon Van Gigglebergen.
Yeah, I think she said Van Gigglebergen earlier. Yeah, she said Gigglebergen, so Sharon Van Gigglebergen will work.
All right, Sharon Van Gigglebergen.
We got AJ Allmendinger against Ryan Blaney at Chicagoland. I'm going Ryan Blaney on that instance.
Yeah, I think Ryan Blaney's going to get that one.
Blaney and who?
Blaney against Allmendinger.
Sharon Van Businessbergen. I love that. Sherry Van Businessbergen. That's right. All about that business.
On the flip side of the bracket, we have two teammates, Denny Hamlin against Ty Gibbs. I'm going to say Hamlin.
Hamlin.
Okay. I got to go Ty Gibbs.
Woo! I like you. All right. We got the Stone Cold Custer versus the Melon Man Ross Chastain. Who are we feeling?
Chastain.
What did you say, Chris? Or
Watermelon Man.
Cole? All right.
Watermelon Man. Yeah,
I'll be the tiebreaker, Chastain.
Shane Van Gisbergen.
Chris Butcher against Austin Cindric. Butcher.
Shane Van Gisbergen.
Not in the lineup.
Busher.
What'd you say, Chris?
Busher. Yeah.
All right, Busher, sweep. And then Briscoe against that Jones boy.
Briscoe.
I got to go with Chase Briscoe. But that Jones boy, don't be surprised. That could be one to watch right there.
I'm looking for that Jones boy.
I'm telling you.
I'm putting my finger on that Jones boy. As much as I like to. I know in my bracket I probably put Briscoe, but some tells me that Jones boy is going to play an upset in this.
Good.
But yeah, there's our bracket. Taz's in-season tournament challenge update for the brackets. Of course, so we will update you as next week as Chicagoland rolls out. But without further ado, Chris, how about you spin that wheel of silly season fortune?
Yeah. Once again, so now we're waiting on the announcement of whether or not Alex Bowman is going to retire. I did not know that the retirement thing was really up in the air. It does seem odd that he, the language that was used when Bowman was asked, he said he didn't feel like he was racing for his job, which kind of made it sound like it was put in his hands. of what he was going to do. And in a way, I think that by the end of the conversation, there's a lot of things that are at play right here. And I think injuries is more at play than what we originally thought. And there's a lingering possibility that Alex Bowman could step out of the 48 car and not be a free agent, but to actually retire. And I think that that's kind of an eye-opener there that, does Bowman go off to another team where he's probably not going to win and struggle? Or do you think that maybe he sees that he was given the best opportunity, he made several years out of it, got in the winning column at Hendrick Motorsports, and just doesn't really want to go through the trouble? Or is it all injury here? And I think those are left to speculate, obviously. But, I didn't really it was always in the back of my mind that he could possibly retire. But until it come out of his own mouth, I think that was more of like a shock that really is something that could be in play right now for Alex Bowman's future.
I'm surprised Alex Bowman came up, but I did hear rumors that Josh Berry could be linked to the Colleague 10 card for next year. With the news that I've been hearing, it has been confirmed by Chris Rice via Jeff Gluck. AJ Allmendinger has an extension through, I want to say 2029, with an option to stay all the way to 2033 or something like that. There's been no news of Ty Dillon. We already know the news of Josh Berry out of the 21 at Wood Brothers being replaced by Jesse Love, the Love Doctor. That's gonna be his name. That's gonna be his nickname right there. I need that one. But yeah, Josh Berry is linked up with Colleague at the 10 card from rumors spreading around.
Look, if I'm Colleague right now, I'm trying to find better than mediocre drivers, and I think that Josh Berry very well fits in that category. You're not going to get, a big name right now. You're not going to have somebody leaving a Hendrick Motorsports or a Joe Gibbs Racing for Colleague Racing. So you got to go out there and try to find the next tier driver. And I think that Josh Berry is much of a very big improvement over a guy like Ty Dillon. Nothing against him, but he's never really put forth great stats in the Cup level, and Josh Berry has a win. So I think that that's a really good fit. But, if all eyes are on the 48 car and that particular ride that's open, if it were to open, I think that completely changes the playing field. And you could see some names like Josh Berry that could be very well suited for the 48 team, even a Rajah Carruth or what is one of the other Corey Day. His name's been mentioned there. But one of them I think that we're leaving out here is obviously the 33 machine. And that's another big question mark right there of whether or not Austin Hill will be the true successor in that ride. And, who is left available to
Noah Gregson's been linked to that car as well.
Right.
What I've heard.
We've heard Noah Gregson. Obviously, the 2 car in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, that's going to be an open ride there. I mentioned Parker Retzlaff earlier. That could possibly be a candidate in that 2 car. But silly season is, we're already mid-season of silly season. Obviously, there's a couple of more dominoes that need to fall before we get hell-bent on where and who is going to be changing rides this year. But there's still some major question marks. Obviously, RFK was rumored last week after some kind of announcement about a Ram pickup truck that they were working on, that maybe they were linked to Dodge. I even brought it up in one of our segments that it could be a possibility that Jack Roush is stepping out of racing. Quickly, Brad Keselowski extinguished that fire and said that they have a long-term deal with Ford and they're not going anywhere. It made a lot of sense that Dodge could be courting another team outside of Kali. And if you watched Door Bumper Clear this week, there was basically Chris Rice would not make any comments, but said basically that though they have aspirations to race Cup with a Dodge next year, that hasn't quite come together yet. But I shared with you guys where Dale Jr. said on Dale Jr. Download that Chris Rice wasn't going to announce on DBC that Dodge was coming to Cup either. Like, that's going to be a major announcement when it comes, and DBC was not going to be the place to release that information. So we're still left with a big question mark.
The other part, too, I remember with Dodge, when they first came in, they did say when they were bringing Ram into the factor for Truck Series, they did say they were going to try for 2027, but they said if they did that, it was going to be very ambitious. So they said 2028 is the realistic goal, but they said if they did get 2027, it was a big, ambitious move to do it. But they did also say back then, too, that they were going to try to do this the right way. Speaking of Dodge, when it comes to that factor, there was something I did share in terms of Dodge. Chris Rice, president of Colleague Racing, mentioned on DBC that the biggest hurdle right now for Dodge to join the Cup Series is the engine program. Unlike the Truck Series, where Ram uses a spec Ilmor engine, Cup Series manufacturers must have their own engine. Chris Rice also noted that the loss of an engine program after Penske switched to Ford was a major reason Dodge exited NASCAR following the 2012 season. I think that's where Dodge is. I mean, that right there pretty much just says right there's the factor of where Dodge is coming from. Let's see here. Only major team Dodge would go is Penske in the O'Reilly Series. Penske was exclusively Dodge. Penske won't leave Ford and Cup, but next step is O'Reilly, and Penske already has a relationship with them. This looks like a new person for us.
Yeah.
Daniel Hernandez. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. You got Lane Van Rigsbergen, Cole Van Gigglebergen.
I don't see, and let me argue that real quick, because I don't see
the Penske thing again.
I don't see it. I don't see them racing one manufacturer in Xfinity and another manufacturer in Cup. But the one interesting thing about Penske is they were the builders of the last engine, so they have the layout for the Dodge engine. So with all due respect, Dodge could very well consider and offer Penske a deal that they can't turn down. So I don't think that that's completely off the table. What I do know is in order to get a Dodge engine, you're going to have to go through what that Penske engine shop built. And so there's that link right there. And Penske's not come out and put any rumors to rest. Would that put Dodge in a lot bigger showcase than maybe a Colleague Racing? Absolutely. You would be bringing right now one of the best top 5 drivers in NASCAR with Ryan Blaney. We don't know what the hell is wrong with Joey Logano. I mean, grow your freaking hair back if that's what's going on here. Take the glasses off, grow your hair back.
He's too busy trying to become Mr. Clean's marketing man.
No, he's cooking that blue stuff, man. He's Walter White. Cooking up blue stuff, trying to sell it to kids or something. I don't know, but that's crazy. Yeah, and then Austin Cindric. So whatever happens with the motor department there, it's going to be interesting because Dodge is going to have the blueprints to their old motor. Of course, that's not exactly the same horsepower they were running at the time, but I do believe that they made a breakthrough. I heard last week that that things in the engine department were coming together. That was not verified through any source through the week or whatnot. But wake up, CJ. He gone, man. it very well could be Daniel Hernandez. It very well could be a Penske partnership. That is the one team that you think about how many times Penske has traded out and gone to different manufacturers throughout their existence. There's no doubt that Penske would be the one.
He's saying Penske in the O'Reilly series, but I don't.
Yeah, it's not going to be like that. No,
I don't see Penske going back down there unless they're in a point where they have drivers linked up with them, but have no room in the Cup level. Like, I mean, what was it? They had Keselowski, Logano, and Blaney, and then they had Cindric, and I know they had another driver in that point, but like they had a development system, but now they don't. Like, and of course they would need Ford's backing in O'Reilly, and with Ford not being in the picture, I don't see how Penske bringing Dodge in the O'Reilly, and look at the bowl cut in that guy.
I'm sorry. When I seen this picture this week, I had to screenshot it. Oh, I don't know if they were looking to embarrass Noah Gragson or what, but just look at that bowl cut, baby. Just
you know, that was back when he first got into Cup Series, because that's a Legacy Motor Club Chevy right there.
It?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Look at the bow tie.
Okay.
And he's got Legacy above that, so
he
that
does.
was when he was with Legacy, and when Legacy was a Chevy.
Wow. So what that stat says is drivers with the most did not finishes in the Cup Series since 2022. Noah Gragson has not finished 28 races out of 129. Rhinestone Cowboy is in this stat with 27 out of 162 races. Bubba Wallace, 26 out of 161. 26 Ricky Stenhouse out of 162, and 24 by Josh Berry in 100 races. So it looks like Josh Berry's on tap to catch all those guys right there pretty soon here if he doesn't get it together. So as we were talking about free agency there, I just thought I would pop up that little stat. Two of the guys that we're talking about.
Hey, we're coming up to Daytona. Anything can happen.
Right. So I just thought you would be amused by that bowl cut. And I think we have officially lost Mr. CJ Sports. Somebody want to read him a book? Penske doesn't need O'Reilly. Dodge does. I think for that reason alone, it would be very attractive to take Dodge's money and help them with the charter using a team with that amount of experience. So wait a minute. Let's get back to that charter deal. So we all heard that, a new manufacturer was going to bring in a new charter. Then all of a sudden this week we heard NASCAR announce that there would not be any new charters brought out for a manufacturer at this time because they would have to do the money for these chartered teams that are already there. So similar to Formula One, I believe these teams may have to vote on whether or not to release these charters, and who in their right mind would vote to release charters to new people if it's going to mean less money for you. So I could see where that could be a conflict of interest. I think that Colleague had kind of shook the tree on that and maybe had sought to see if they were eligible to receive those charters and possibly sell a charter that they already own. But NASCAR quickly shot that down and was like, we're not bringing in any new charters right now. So once again, NASCAR has reneged on something that they said previously. And I'm not surprised at all. A little off topic there, but I did look at Miss Lee's new kitchen table Bergen.
Jeez Louise. Oh.
Wake up, CJ. Shane Van Gisbergen. Wayne Van Boogerbergen. Hang out with us for a few more minutes, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, Van Boogerbergen.
Yeah. So back to the show.
Back to Under the Hood. Chicagoland. We're coming up to it.
Yeah, look, real quick, if you want to make a quick
one and done? Yes, no?
With Chicagoland?
Yes.
Absolutely. And I think that's heartbreaking. But that appears to be, and I don't know why you would refurbish a racetrack to race one race and then close it down again. I hope that I'm wrong here. but I keep hearing that there's going to be a Chicago street course, and that area is already there's already a lot of races that go on within the Midwest area. So if you were to continue Chicagoland, I believe that would be the loss of either a Kansas or maybe possibly a St. Louis Gateway racetrack. And I mean,
honestly, I think I would love to see Chicagoland and Chicago Street Course on the schedule if I were to get rid of a track to get Chicagoland on there. I would say Gateway, but in a sense too, if I take away Gateway, I'm losing an opportunity to do a NASCAR IndyCar doubleheader, which worked out successfully this past year when that happened at Phoenix. So I would hate to say I agree on the one and done, but I think fans are enjoying the Chicago Street Course. Even though people will complain saying that the Chicago Street Course sucks and should never come back and whatever, but I think we should, and I think NASCAR should see this one out before they make a decision of should we push the street course again or should we stay on the Chicagoland Speedway, because obviously the Chicago area, regardless of street course or Chicagoland, there's a market there for NASCAR racing. Right. And if the fans appreciate Chicagoland more than the Chicago street race, I say keep the Chicagoland. Let the street course be, okay, we did that. We tried it for, 3 years? Right. It just wasn't as popular as Chicagoland.
And I think right there with you, we played it out. It's 3 years in Chicago. Let's do a street course somewhere else. Let's not go back to where we've already been. Give Chicagoland its chance. Give that place a chance to get back on the schedule, to be, our car is completely different now than what the car we had when we left there the last time. Mile and a half speedways give us good racing. I know it's a top-heavy racetrack, so we're going to see a lot of guys try to run the ring, run the top ring around it, and that we're going to see how that plays out. But all in all, I'm so excited to see us going back to Chicagoland. It was always one of my favorite racetracks. There's always been, an unusual suspect to win that race. It's not, it's not a given that Hendrick's going to win or that, of course, Joe Gibbs. It seems to be a racetrack that kind of fares with competition, and you get to see guys be competitive there. So I'm really looking forward to getting back to Chicagoland, seeing them fans in the stands, and then having NASCAR make the choice of what they do. I do know that we're to the point now, I think, where a lot of people are discouraged on the 4th of July for racing. And I don't think Sonoma's in the right place. I think that, we're racing too late in the season to race Sonoma. But we tried what was that, up in Road America, and it was a sold-out crowd. But there's so much that goes on the 4th of July weekend that it's hard to watch a day race, right? I think by the evening time, what worked out so well with the Pepsi 400 was it was in the evening time, and after all the boat rafting and all the partying and whatnot, you got to go home and catch the last 100 laps of the Daytona, Pepsi 400. Those days are obviously gone, and I don't think that we're going back to Daytona for 4th of July weekend because Daytona doesn't want us there for the 4th of July weekend. They said they have enough problems. So maybe, just maybe, this could be a weekend that we just set aside and we don't race. Like, I'm all for that, like a mid-season break, like what we had similarly to when the Olympics were going on, where we had two weekends off going into that. But, I don't want to put a race on the 4th of July weekend that nobody's going to attend to, right? And nobody's going to be interested in. So if you're going to have to race there, at least put a race there that it's okay to miss, like Shane Van Gisbergen win race, You put Sonoma there, right? I mean, just move it up one more week.
Put a Wayne Van Buggerbergen win.
Yeah, like, right? I mean, so if there's such a problem with getting people to commit to a 4th of July race, then take it to a place like Sonoma and, let them rip. But outside of that, maybe we look into just taking the weekend off and giving that area for families to just be able to go hang out, maybe even race car drivers for them to get to hang with their families for a holiday every now and then. So I'm not objective to that. I do know that we probably won't go back to Daytona, and Chicago definitely does not want to do a street race on the 4th of July weekend. But let's see what happens here with Chicagoland, and who knows, man? Maybe Chicagoland is the perfect place to have a 4th of July race. We'll have to see.
I mean, it could bring the fireworks. I mean, it brought the slide jobs.
And don't they have lights at Chicagoland? No lights at Chicagoland?
Wait, hold on. Hold that thought.
I think they might.
Google, please help me out here. Chicagoland Speedway lights. No lights.
No lights. CJ,
maybe I didn't type that question in right. Does Chicagoland Speedway have lights?
Yes, they do have lights. Miss Sharon says they do have lights.
I just saw that. Yeah. They have a permanent lighting system. So, yeah.
That's what we need to do. We need to put it back at an evening race. Even if it's on Sunday evening, let's get it back to evening.
Let them cook.
Not a day race.
Let them cook.
Look, I mean, everybody's got something to do that weekend, right? So if you want to have people who can view your race, at least put it at a nighttime so that people can do whatever they got to do during the daytime and then have something to go home to and enjoy for the evening of the holiday. I mean, I'm all for that. And Chicagoland has lights. Look at there. I mean, it seems like it's a good fit.
I mean, the O'Reilly's going to be running under the lights Saturday. They started their race at 5:30.
And that's what Miss Sharon says. She says,
the cup race is going to be under the lights. 6 o'clock start time.
Okay. All right. So that's crazy because, the little yellow binder where it has the official start times and stuff for TV. I actually copied that this week and I was going to post it there at the end at the long run segment and just kind of post that and show when things are coming on TV. And so I think that's going to be a cool little gateway segment into how we close out our weekly show, giving that little tab there. But yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. That pretty much covers our under the hood segment portion of the show. We now have our 3 S's known as the standouts, the shout outs, and the shout down.
Damn.
3 names that stood out amongst the rest of the previous week. We each have our own and we'll be able to bring forward to the table without discussion. Can we get a wonderful Wayne Van Rigglebergen or whoever the French's Rigglebergen name is?
I'm going to make this simple, sweet, and short because I didn't catch nothing. All I caught was everything is about... trying to about SVG. So my 3 S's are going to be SVG. Stand out, shout out, and stand out. So that's it.
What? Shane Van Gisbergen gets all of them?
All of them. Because it's all about SVG tonight.
No. You got to say Shane Van Gisbergen.
Shane Van Gisbergen.
All right. Now, who's your standout?
SVG.
No. Who?
Shane Van Gisbergen.
All right. Who is your
Shane Van Gisbergen?
And your shout down?
Shane Van Gisbergen.
Okay. Now you said Shane Van Gisbergen, right?
Oh God!
All 3 of them. That's a first. That's a trifecta right there, baby. Booyah!
He got a cheat code for that too.
Booyah! All right.
Oh, good Lord. Cole Van Tricklebergen.
Oh, yeah. So I think Parker Retzlaff got my standout. A shout out is Shane Van Gisbergen for putting on just a dominant weekend. And my shout down, I've been trying to think of a shout down. I think I don't even know, man. Shout down. I don't know. Having two road courses next to each other. That's just ooh. Brother, ooh. Brother, ooh. NASCAR don't do two road courses next to each other, even if one's a street course and one's a road course.
Are you shot down?
Yeah. No, it's do not do two road courses back to back. It's boring as shit.
You said with such a straight face.
Shane Van Gisbergen.
Oh my god. Oh, I can't.
Sorry for the S-bomb.
Oh, that was beautiful.
I did say it with a straight face, though. I pulled that one off.
You did. Ever so seriously.
Oh, Lord. Shout down to Chris not knowing that it was evening start times. I mean, Jesus Christ.
You said it with a straight face so seriously. It was like somebody committed a crime.
What are you drinking, Mr. CJ Sports?
He's drinking Angry Orchard. That's Angry Orchard
Angry
all
Orchard.
day.
Okay.
I know that bottle.
I gotta have my apples, and two apples per bottle.
No.
I know that bottle very well.
I was thinking maybe my vision was off. Maybe a Sierra Nevada, maybe something like that. But no, I don't dig all the.
That is my drink. I haven't had it in quite some time, but that is my drink.
It's not beer.
Especially on draft. Oh my God. We got a place here in this area. It's called Frickers. They have it on draft. Oh my Lord.
You say Frickers 3 times.
Frickers.
Can you say Frickers 3 times, Lane Van Rigsbergen?
Before I spit my water out. Frickers.
Yeah, Frickers.
Can you say it 3 times fast? Cole Van
SVG. Wait, that was the 3 S's. Okay, all right, come on.
All right. My standout, Connor Zilich. About time you got a good finish for once. About time. We've been waiting all season, and you finally got one. That's my standout. Shout out to IROC, as they're going to be racing during the IndyCar DC weekend. They're having like an exhibition style.
IROC is back.
Yeah,
they've been back.
Oh,
they've been back. But with how they're doing it this time around is they're bringing back all forms of the IROC cars, like the Porsches, the Chevy Camaros, the Z28s, and Pontiac Firebirds.
No, just the Z28s. It's the IROC League. Oh no.
I think they're racing Mopars, aren't they? Are they racing Mopars?
I don't know what kind of engines they're running. But I do know that they're running. All I know is that when they do run, it's like all the IROC cars together. And so like the first event they put on was back in 2024, I believe it was. I know Lime Rock was the host of it. And then last year I think they did like 2 or 3 events. I know one of them was at Laguna Seca, I want to believe. And then this year, I think they did Laguna Seca again. They're running DC. I don't know if they have any other events this year, but I know for the DC, they're running 8 Pontiac Firebirds. And they will have Rusty the Clown, Rusty Wallace. They'll have Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. They'll have... trying to think. Bobby Labonte. I don't have a nickname for him. They'll have the old Bushy brother, Kurt Busch. He'll be running.
Oh, Kurt's back in the car.
They'll have Hendricks. I can't say the word. I'll just say it. Bitch Boy, Jeff Gordon.
Yeah.
Exactly. Then they'll have Helio Castroneves, Spider-Man.
All right.
They'll have
I love Helio.
They'll have the total knockout punch, Tony Kanaan.
Okay. Well, that sounds like worth watching. Where can we find this at?
And they'll have Dario Franchitti as well.
I love Franchitti. Where are we going to be able to watch this at? Is this going to be televised?
I haven't seen anything of them televising or anything, but Iraq has. Hold on before you get your panties in a bunch.
I'm telling you, I'm about to get upset here. You just said a couple of cool ass names. I want to know where I can watch this at. Is Alan Bestwick going to be the commentator?
Hold on, I think somebody
sounds like the Old Man series times 2.
Well, I mean, they've only had retired drivers. They haven't done current ones in any of their events.
42 comments. I mean, have I been missing out on the comments? Holy crap. Wow.
Somebody said something of...
I've been in private chat.
Somebody made a comment, and then Iraq did say something of Racing America.
Oh.
Hold on. Somebody commented, won't be able to watch it. Oh, because it's not available on any streaming services. But Iraq commented back saying Racing America
that's free.
did a recording of their last event on YouTube.
Right.
And they said they'll have details on how to watch the upcoming races soon. So I guess they're working on some things.
Awesome. Okay. Sounds good. I think
and the DC race is coming up in August 23rd for IndyCar. So that weekend will be Iraq as well.
Awesome. Cannot wait. Hopefully we'll get some live coverage of that. Ready for the poll question?
Shout down quick.
Yeah, my bad.
I don't remember my shout down.
Who's shouting down? Who are you shouting down now?
I say shout down to. Hold on. I know there was a team I had locked in. They did terrible. You know what?
Daniel, we'll get to your question in just a second here.
I think shout down to. You know, I'm going to say shout down to Hendrick.
Shout down to Hendrick.
Is because your main road course guy did not finish top 10.
Wow. Who, Chase?
Yeah.
Wow.
And going into Sonoma this weekend in the next gen car, he finished in the top 10 in every race up until this point in the next gen car.
At a road course or
at
at
Sonoma?
At Sonoma. Wow.
And he failed to do it.
Dang. All right, let's get to the weekly poll question real quick. We have already posted the poll question. Yes, we have.
We got ourselves a poll question.
And you know what? We've already got it out. We've already got it shared. The 110 Nation Sports Race Chat Live weekly poll question presented by Fan for Racing blog and radio. That has been posted. You can check out the live feed there at the link below. Will Shane Van Gisbergen go down as the greatest road course racer in NASCAR history? Drum roll, please. And the poll question says 44 votes so far at 74%. Yes, hell yes. Shane Van Gisbergen will go down as the greatest road course racer in NASCAR history. 15 have voted hell no at 25%. So 75% of the vote now says that Shane Van Gisbergen will go down as the greatest road course racer in NASCAR history. Imagine that Mr. Wayne Van Boogerberger.
That 25% need to be drug tested.
No doubt. Don't get behind the wheel, buddy. you make sure you go to bed after this. You know what? I should have given a shout down to Mr. CJ Sports for not bringing more beer. I mean, if we were going to sit around and drink tonight, then I think we all could have gotten involved with that. We'd have probably had a lot more funny show. Daniel Hernandez has commented quite a few times, and he wanted to know who our picks are for the weekend. We'll save that for last. We don't typically take picks like we have before. I think that's really something that we should get back doing. But he says, I think Joey and Ryan will be top contenders there at Chicagoland, but I think it'll be a battle between RFK, JGR, and Penske. He also added, I don't think Chevy will have the speed for it this year, especially with how their fastest car performed and how bad that car jumped around and lost speed over the tire life at the Chicagoland test. So that's pretty good inside information there, Daniel Hernandez. I do want to make a comment. We're forgetting that Tyler Reddick really runs good at high side racetracks. So I think leaving 2311 off of that one is purely.
Bubba Wallace is usually pretty fast at these type of tracks too.
Yeah, he is, and I think we chose to go with the latter during the Taz's in-season bracket challenge there. So we might have gotten caught slipping on that one, Taz Taylor. As for who I think could possibly be a winner, I just said his name, Tyler Reddick. When you get it put into a position that he's in, this is the challenging moment. You had a really good lead there with the points, and you kind of watched it dwindle away. It's now time to get it back in gear. If true champions, that's what they do. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him hot out the box and take home a win this weekend at Chicagoland. I did want to add as well, before we kind of share that around the room, that these are the drivers that are no longer in competition, that were in competition the last time that we raced at Chicagoland. Jimmy Johnson, Martin Truex Jr., Kurt Busch, Kevin Harvick, Eric Amarola, Ryan Newman, Daniel Hemrick, Paul Menard, Kyle Busch, David Reagan, Matt Diamondetto, Matt Tiff, Corey LaJoie, Landon Castle. Hold on. I don't know what happened here. Oh, my gosh. Landon Castle, okay. Bailey Curry, Reed Sorensen, BJ McLeod, Clint Boyer, and Quinn Huff. And my last little aim to fame stat here was the last time NASCAR raced at Chicagoland Speedway, Alex Bowman beat Kyle Larson for his first ever career Cup Series win. Spire Motorsports was in its debut season. Shane Van Gisbergen, oh my gosh, I did it again, was fifth in the Supercars Championship standings. Connor Zillich was only 13 years old. So, man, oh man, has times changed since the last time we were at Chicagoland Speedway. Taz, do you want to take a stab at who you think is going to win this weekend?
Who's this Taz guy?
Oh, I'm sorry, Lane Van Rigsbergen.
You see the background?
I love it. Hey, and don't think that guy's not on the silly season list. He is definitely.
O'Reilly in Cup Series. O'Reilly, I'm just gonna throw the alligator. What the heck? Cup Series. Good Lord. I don't know. I'll say Reddick. I haven't seen Reddick as competitive, though. I don't know. You know what? I'll probably say, taking a shot in the dark here.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're going to say Ryan Blaney.
You know what? I'm going to say Chris Buescher. In your face, little boy.
Hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Chris Van Giggelbergen Buescher. Yes, sir. Yes.
We got to get to our team rankings here soon.
Oh, yeah, we got to get there quick. So, Ms. Sharon, if you will post the what I just sent you there with the TV schedule for this weekend as we are in the long run.
Wayne Van Booger.
Oh, my bad.
That's not the first time you've done this.
I know. I've actually done it. That's what happens when I try to take it. Yeah.
Chris did
I'm gonna go with Justin Allgaier, and I think we're gonna see at least one more win this year out of this man. So I'm gonna go with Carson Hocevar. I don't think he's done yet this year.
Carson Hocevar. Interesting.
The Hurricane.
The Hurricane, and this would be a track that would suit.
Did you hear? Well. Did you listen to when he did that junior download? That he had a whole, like, if he would have won, like, he had this whole celebration where he was going to do it in between the buildings, like this whole Like, I think that this man wants to win another race just so he can top his last celebration. For no other reason, he wants to top that celebration.
And being a super speedway winner, the first thing that a driver wants to do is get a win at a place other than, because until they win at a track other than a super speedway, there's always that little star, that little note beside their name that it was a super speedway race. So I don't blame Carson Hocevar. He's eager to get back in victory lane again. And, look, Spire's been really fast at these mile-and-a-half speedways. Though Chicagoland is not necessarily like a Charlotte, it's a little bit more like a Homestead, but even the same, I expect them to be very competitive this weekend. And so Carson Hocevar could definitely be on the radar.
All right. As we've got it posted on the screen there's the racing schedule for this weekend. Of course, all at Chicagoland with the O'Reilly and Cup Series. So that's our long run type of rundown there. We only have a few minutes left, so we got to get into our NASCAR weekly team rankings.
Hold on 1 second, because Daniel knows his stuff right now, and I don't know where Daniel's come from, and I don't know how Daniel found us, but I'm glad he's here, because this guy's telling us something that he knows about this test that they had there. And let's go back to, I think Toyota will have a good start to the race, but judging how much they fell off over the long run at the land test, Chevy and Ford will be dogging it out. Then he goes on to add the Chevys ran almost 15 to 20 more laps than the Toyotas, and Ford 10 more than the Chevys. It's like the performance flipped upside down. The Fords found something there at Chicago. The test showed it. This is interesting. This is good. My whole family works for Penske. I hear you. Wow. My gosh. His whole family, like Penske or Penske? Because obviously there's Penske, the corporation, and there's Team Penske, Daniel. So I'm thinking he's going to say Team Penske. So glad to have you on board here, man. Just thank you for all your insight. And obviously you got a little bit going on there as Taz is pointing back up to the screen. Let's stay focused here. Taz is weekly. Where did Taz go? What in the world? Lane Van Gisbergen? Penske Racing. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Daniel Hernandez, for that insight.
We got the team rankings. I have the share screen right up for you sharing.
Yeah. I was coming to say hey to everybody.
Now I got disappeared. There we go. I popped back up. The share screen is up as we get into our Week 18 team rankings. The only change in the basement 5 is front row moving down from number 10 to number 11. The rest is RCR at 12, Wood Brothers 13, Haas 14, and Rick Ware at 15. Anything from the peanut gallery?
Yeah, I mean, Rick Ware, I just don't even know. Obviously, I think that we missed that with Cody Ware earlier in the segment. Cody felt like he was getting nothing but ran over and disrespected at Sonoma. Maybe that's the feud of the week, the bitching and griping that Cody had. He says everybody was trying to race him crappy and trying to push him out of the way and stuff. And, but people are just sick of it, right? They know that they're not there to compete. They're just there to make laps. And, those guys that are racing and trying to chase down championships, they don't have time for it. And there's other guys that are just, they're not wasting their time with Rick Ware. So being that Rick Ware has spent all year long at the bottom of the cellar, it's time to do something, Rick Ware, or it's time to hang it up, man. Front row, I hate to see them slip back to 11 because we know that Zane Smith has been on a tear. Noah Gregson seems to really be bringing the stable down. I'm not sure if this is an attitude problem, if he needs a crew chief change. Noah has had a tendency to, have attitude issues. And so he may be discouraged. He may be wanting out at front row. I'm not sure, but their team stinks. And the display that he put on, obviously he said that his feud with Kevin Magnuson, if he had thrown a punch, that he was going to get fired. So front row may be tired of Noah Gregson, and Noah may be just hanging on for the end of the year before he jump ship and go somewhere else. But it is disappointing to see Front Row Motorsports and all the years that they've been here and all as exciting as we have been about their team this year and making moves and moving up, to see them in RCR in the bottom 5, the bottom tier, the basement 5, it's very heartbreaking.
All right. If we have no other comments, we can go over to the climbing 5, where
I agree with your basement 5, so we're good.
Alrighty. The climbing 5, Colleague Racing up to number 10, one spot from 11. Hayek, Trackhouse, and Legacy remain at the same spot as the previous week. Hendrick falls out of the top 5 down to number 6 this week.
Hendrick out of the top 5. That just shows where we are 18 races in the season. My gosh, I don't know if anybody would have predicted that at the beginning of the year. If I had a cashy bet on it, I'd probably be a millionaire and I'd be cashing out right about now. Legacy, what a great improvement. I'm so proud of you, Legacy. Keep moving in the right direction. I think they just announced that my mama and Dolly Parton are now partners in Legacy Motor Club, because why the hell not? Everybody else is. And I believe that I've seen Darius Rucker singing Wagon Wheel on the backside of the pit hauler at some place. I don't really know, but I know he was playing Wagon Wheel. So welcome to ownership, NASCAR ownership, Darius Rucker. And my mother's very proud to be part of the NASCAR ownership as well in Legacy Motor Club. Trackhouse, man, there is too much money in your organization to be looking at number 8. Hayek, man, you ain't got no damn money. What the hell are you doing here? But you're beating some really solid teams to be there. So congratulations, Colleague. Y'all just keep hanging in there, man. It's all going to get better for you in the end.
See, we see things a little different there with the whole Legacy thing. I look at it as they can't perform good enough, and they got to keep taking more and more investors so they have more and more money come in, because they're not doing good enough to get their own money. Why have more hands in the pot unless you got to have more hands in the pot? So I look at things a little different on that. But your climbing 5 looked good to me. Glad to see Colleague getting back in the right direction. I think I'm just as shocked as everybody else with Hendrick not being in the top 5. Other than I see things differently with Legacy, and I made a small comment about it before when Darius had to throw in some money, but now you got more and more people throwing money into the pots. So I got a lot of concerns with that.
Yeah, I think it's just it. Ernie Burnoff just made an investment. A guy by the name of Ernie Burnoff just made an investment into Legacy Motor Club. We'll have to check the facts there, but I don't know. Ernie Burnoff, maybe a Bernie Madoff, or I don't know. Anyway, I think he was part of some
Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Madoff, I believe, is who I was trying to say, and he's now invested in Legacy Motor. It's all uphill from here, if you understand what I'm saying.
All right, we go on to the.
Do you guys know
5.
who Bernie Madoff is? Are y'all old enough to know who Bernie Madoff is? So he was a Ponzi scheme artist, and he literally took everybody of their money. So that would be the type of investors they're looking for over at Legacy Motor Club in
All
Mr.
right.
CJ Sports' words.
With our top 5, 2311 falls down 3 spots to number 5. RFK climbs up 2 spots from number 6 to number 4. Penske stays quiet at number 3. Spire moves up 2 spots from number 4 to number 2. And Joe Gibbs Racing, no surprise, holds the top spot once again for another week in a row. I think it's probably like 7 or 8 at this freaking point.
My deal is, where's all the conspiracy theorists now with 2311? I thought that they bought a championship or something in a lawsuit. I thought that they had NASCAR by the balls and they were just cheating every day, and they were going to be the best. They were going to be the best organization that's ever lived in NASCAR. They're sitting at number 5 right now. They've run into a losing streak. They've run into some hiccups because that's what NASCAR does. NASCAR humbles your ass real quick. And 2311. 1 week they're dominant, the next week they got broke cars. I don't know, but all I know is I want to hear just as much fandom when they're doing bad as what I hear when they're doing good. Conspiracy theorists you got to stay with me here. I mean, I want tinfoil hats and all the goulash. RFK, hey, look, y'all are doing great. Let's get back in. Let's win a race. That's what we've got to do now at RFK. We've got to win a race. We've got to show, hey, we're staying with Ford. We're back in victory lane. This is the weekend. My buddy Lane Van Rigsbergen has picked Chris Buescher to win this weekend. I would love to see that. Penske, Daniel Hernandez, do you think Penske's in the right area? I believe so, but it's really Ryan Blaney carrying that team right there. And 20 was just the new poster time for the time being. Yeah, I think Denny Hamlin. Spire at number 2. What a crazy, that's wild. Like Spire, I don't, this is new. Like we're not leaving Daytona. This is 18 races in the season. Spire is in the number 2 spot. It just shows all the. Hey, thank God for Chris Gabehart, right? I mean, all they need next is Shane Van Gisbergen. And Joe Gibbs Racing, Toyota, them damn Yoders. I tell you, they're hard to beat right now. They've got something clicking, and them damn Yoders are going to show up, and they're gonna piss Dale Jr. off. Slap job. I mean, that's.
I will say this. I wouldn't be surprised if Chase Briscoe gets in the top 10 in points after this week. Easy. I mean, Gibbs has 3 out of 4 in the top 10.
Yeah, NASCAR. Well, Felix Sabatis, Daniel. I'm reading your comment. How now NASCAR's formed these days. There's no making money anymore. I mean, that goes back to Felix Sabatis. He said in order to make a million in NASCAR, you had to bring 2 million, right? I mean, that's just there's never been really money making in NASCAR, but these teams have been set up now to at least have some kind of collateral when they decide to either get out or whatever. So that's where the charters have come in and created a certain wealth and value to that. And now that they're evergreen charters, I believe that wealth will be something that they can bargain on as NASCAR continues on. So that they're gonna, as long as there's not a salary cap, money buys speed. That's racing. I don't know anybody that's ever made any money in racing outside of the people who do media work and kind of the infrastructure of NASCAR or racing in general. So the drivers and the teams, they definitely don't make. Well, the drivers may make a little bit of money, but if you're a team owner, you're definitely not making any money in racing. You're investing it all into these race cars. So thank you, Daniel Hernandez, for all your insight. He said no Toyota bought a championship because they haven't had one since Kyle Busch. 2311 was just a new poster time for the time being.
We're in Indiana visiting Zach with Buyer Lawn and Landscape. Mistakes are going to happen.
What is that?
What in the French just happened?
I'm not sure. Maybe somebody opened up a file there or something. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Okay.
But,
all right. Well, that's Taz's. Any thoughts there, Wayne Van Boogerbergen? He hung out.
What was he doing? The new 6-7?
Do I not get to look at the list and give my 2 cents? Or are we going to skip me again tonight on this too?
Wait. I just asked him. And he's like, whoa, 6-7.
No, you were like
Jared,
not your turn, but
no, we really were. You were like 6-7.
no. God, I hate that 6-7. I'm glad to see Spire moved up to the number 2 spot. Who would ever thought the way this season began that 2311 be barely hanging on to the 5th spot? That is so crazy.
Right.
But I'm glad to see Spire move up. RCR, or not RCR, but RFK. And I like where you got. I like where you got everything. I was just, like I said, I'm just glad to see. And it's not just Carson Hocevar. The whole team, obviously, is this a team ranking. To see this team, like, it's just so funny to me that at the beginning of the season, we were, what is going on with the whole Chris Gabehart, Spire, and everything. And then all of a sudden, Spire's winning races, and Ty Gibbs is actually performing. And so it's like it's always been forgiven. Like, it's not even been a conversation no more. So, like, I don't know. It's just crazy to me. Like, It's almost like the government, like they throw something else out there and we forget what we was all fighting about 10 minutes ago. Now we're all fighting about this new thing that they stirred a pot with. As it's kind of like the whole Joe Gibbs Inspire, like who team you on, Joe Gibbs or Chris Gabehart. And then all of a sudden, Ty Gibbs is doing good. All of a sudden, Inspire's winning, and we forget all about the lawsuit and everything going on.
Sharon Van Gisbergen, back to you. Thank you for that, Wayne Van Gisbergen, and thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We love you, man, and we know you're working hard, and you're one day we're gonna have that Learjet, and we're gonna all fly around in it. Because you, my friend, are either going to hit the lottery or make $1 billion. I don't know which comes first, but I hope that. I
wish the lottery come first, and it'd be a lot easier.
It'd be a lot easier, right? And then we'll all be smoking big cigars on the Learjet. So, and thank you for Miss Sharon for giving us the opportunity to be here. I think Lane Van Gisbergen, it's time to close this out, man. And thank you, Daniel Hernandez, for giving us.
Hey, Wayne Van Gisbergen, you got to take your sponsors here. We got to take our sponsors before we say good night.
Throw them on the screen.
Sponsors matter.
The conspirators think the teams are buying races, but that's not it. All pace cars. Toyota, all advertising. Toyota, all.
Throw them on the screen there, Taz.
I don't have them.
You don't have them? Oh, Miss Sharon has them. There we go.
All right, Carolina Sports Plus. Make sure you guys check them out at Carolina Sports Plus. Like them on Facebook. Mario is a great guy. I've known him for a good hot minute. Those that go to the Dogwood Festival, the Pembroke Festival, all those festivals in the North Carolina and the Fayetteville region, you guys will know him in his little mobile truck. He's a phenomenal guy. I've learned a lot off of him. Make sure you guys check them out at CarolinaSportsPlus.com. Like him on Facebook. He also does a lot of posting on the 110 fan page as well. So big shout out to Carolina Sports Plus. McMillan's Lawn Care and Landscaping. If you're in the Dayton, Ohio area, if it be Beaver Creek, Huber Heights, Springfield, Fairborn, Tip City, Troy, Beaver Creek. I don't know if I said Beaver Creek. Riverside. Make sure you give us a call, 937-999-9793. We're looking to fill about 5 to 10 more slots. This has been our best year yet. I want to shout out to all our customers. They have made this all possible. And I tell you what, it's been hot in Ohio. We've been out here doing our thing. If your guys have went ahead and called it a year, as we've seen a lot of people tapping out already, make sure you give us a call. Also, the 110 Sports and Collectibles Company for all your merchandising need. Make sure you guys check them out on Facebook or the 110 Sports and Collectibles Company.com.
Yep, and there's that One-Eyed Kid Designs, man. Give this kid a chance. Let him design you a T-shirt, maybe a wrap, even a logo for your pit box. This kid can do it all. We've shared several times some of his designs. He's got a couple of wraps that are coming out very soon here that we'll be glad to display. Give the kid a shot, man. I mean, he's probably very competitive with his prices compared to other people. He's just gotten started last year, but he's already got some really cool designs that he can show you that he's already done, and let him design your next wrap or something like that, or T-shirt, whatever it may be. Just give that One-Eyed Kid Designs at that One-Eyed Kid Photography a chance to do it for you. We appreciate him being a sponsor here on the show.
All right, everybody, that wraps things up here on Race Chat Live. We want to thank everybody for tuning, listening in. I hope everybody enjoyed our SVG comments. With that being said, with that being said, thank you, Shane Van Gisbergen, for letting us come on here. I want to thank my co-host with Wayne Van Gisbergen from the 110 Nation, and then we got Cole Van Gigglesbergen or wherever
Van Trickelbergen.
Over the Caution Flag Race Radio. I'm Lane Van Gisbergen of Flaggers saying good night. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for listening.